Doma Sports Talk worldwide with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed, nah, right? Now, let me start off with a little story for you. It was three sister girls, right? Three black girls, right? They came from training. They was training a little bit, and they was trying to walk, get their walk on, a little bit, get themselves fit. And it started raining on them. So they said, we got to take a shortcut. So they took a shortcut through a junkyard, to get to the home, But in the junkyard, they saw something in the corner. It's kind of shiny. Like, shoot, this is a junkyard, but I'm going to go see what this shiny thing is. Went over there, found out it was a little lamp shining, One of the sisters said, shoot, man, that thing's shining. We're going to take this home. Picked it up, said, it's a junkyard. We ain't stealing. It's just a junkyard, right? And they just start making jokes. Hey, man, why don't you rub it? You never know what could happen. You know what happens when you rub a lamp, right? So sister said, something, I'm going to rub this just in case, Rubbed it, messed around, and a genie popped up out of there. Seriously, a genie popped up out. So the genie popped up out, and the sister said, whoa, you a genie. They didn't even get scared. It was your genie. Shoot, I get 3 wishes. What's up? Genie told him, hey, well, you get 2. You black. You get 2 wishes. She said, what do you mean I'm black? I get 2 wishes. You get 2 wishes. So she didn't argue the point. Well, I got 2. This 2 is better than none, ain't it? So sister said, so the genie said, hey, what's your first wish? Sister said, you know something? White people been getting on my nerves lately. You know something? I want a bridge. I want you to build a bridge from my hood all the way to Africa. So when I want to, I can walk to Africa and make sure that it goes quick. Right? The genie said, man, I'm just a genie. I ain't God. What's your second wish? Sister said, okay, well, my second wish is this. I want it to be in America, equality for everybody in America. Just equality. Everybody equal. Genie said, now how would you like that bridge? Would you like that bridge with cement, brick, or wood? You feeling me? Anyway, moving on along. What's happening? We guys know that's what's going on in the European Cup. You had Italy won the European Cup, right? They beat England in penalty shots. I told you England has a phobia when it comes to penalty shots, right? But here, while you were watching that penalty shootout, if you were a black person, what were you saying? Because I know I told my lady, I said, ooh, it's getting down to crunch time. These brothers can't miss. They can't miss. You thinking that you half joking, but not really joking. I'm like, oh, they can't really miss. Radford or whatever his name is, messed around and missed. He got close, but he missed. Right? Then Sancho missed. He ain't a brother, but he looked like brother-ish. Right? And then the other young brother, Yaka or whatever, he missed too. They lost. Now England is in an uproar about them N-word dudes. Right? England has gone so off, they went off on Twitter. They've gotten death threats. Matter of fact, to the point to where they are telling black people, don't leave your home. Okay? This is England. Right? This ain't America. This is England. That's gone is the subtle racism. Brothers, you missed them penalty shots. I know your babies. These guys are so young that they mamas ain't number 33, 34 years old. That's how young these dudes are. Right? Now, Radford and Sancho, I said they're going to miss. Because they had just came in the game. I was like, Southgate brought them in, but someone told me, he said, he only brought them in to do the penalty shots. But I was like, you going to bring somebody in late in the game like that and they're going to shoot penalties? I didn't know why he done that. But also being a trainer, sometimes, this is how I train. Like I told you guys before, when I train basketball, I train people from 16 or 15, 16 to 40, 45, and they go all in one team, right? So sometimes, it's hard to tell a 32-year-old dude who think he's all that this 16-year-old going to start today. And I don't tell the 16-year-old till this game time. They ain't going to get time to get nervous. So maybe bringing in some young talent, they don't get as nervous as someone who's 26, 27 and knows what's going down and knows the history of Britain being scared of penalty shots, because Britain is scared of penalty shots. Now I don't know if the N-word dudes have been missing penalty shots throughout history, but England has a history all throughout Europe that they're scared of penalty shots. They didn't even want to have penalty shots on that day. So it's not these N-word dudes that gave them a reputation, right? But here's the deal. all this stuff that's going on. Speaking of the N word, Sterling, right? Sterling. He's been having trouble in England anyway in his club, and I don't know which club he is right now. It doesn't hit me, but I know it's not Man City. I know it's not Liverpool. I know it's not Arsenal. I know it's not Chelsea. So it must be Manchester United, right? He been getting bananas and boo, all ape sounds and all kind of stuff going on in his club, right? So at the end of the day, brothers, you're not supposed to be playing. You're supposed to boycott the situation. Win without brothers. Just let them. All of this stuff we always forgive. No forgiveness. We ain't playing. Period. Just like I told people before, when these ape sounds come or bananas are thrown on the pitch, my team better leave the pitch before I do. I'm supposed to be the last one in the locker room. If my team ain't in there, I ain't playing with them no more. Because the problem is the empathy. It's not happening to them. So hey, well, they come hug you and it's all right. Everybody's not like that. It's enough, people. It's not, no, gone is the time where we're supposed to expect people not to be racist. Most people are that are white. It's not half or little bit. We had 75 million people vote for an obvious racist, an obvious criminal, doesn't care about the rule of law. So stop it, right? And black people, stop being so, forgiving. This is what it is, man. It's what it is, right? There's no reason to be calling these N-word and all that stuff. Yeah, they lost. They're English. But no, they're not. When they're English, when they can run all fast on the wing and get you. Sterling is the reason they're in the final, right? Sterling is the reason. He got the penalty shot for him. He didn't shoot it. Kane shot it, but he was the one who got it out for him. He was the one who failed. He shouldn't have got a penalty shot anyway. He cheated, in my opinion. But he got the penalty shot that got them to the final. But whatever. England, deal with it. Right? Deal with it. It is what it is. Brothers, you should not play. There should be repercussions because of this. Don't play no more. Right? You don't get paid much in the English national team anyway. You go to your club, play there because that's a whole bunch of money. I wouldn't play. No more. For a while. For a long time. Right? If there's no repercussions, nothing ever happens. No. Period. That's it. Don't play. That's what I would do if I were you guys. Now, let's get to some more stuff that's going on. Right? We have the Negro League fighters in boxing, right? That I always talk about, Negro League fighters, because it's the fighters who we know are the very best that boxing has to offer, but the media won't tell you that. They will tell you that these other people are better, right? And they never have to fight these guys, but the other people are better, higher on the pound for pound list. They know that they're avoiding these brothers, but they just won't tell you about it in mainstream media. And those are the Negro League fighters. And I'll go from the top, right? From heavyweight, Louis the Real King Kong Ortiz, Deontay Wilder, Michael Hunter. Go down to middleweight, because in light heavyweight and cruiserweight, we pretty good there. There's enough good white people there. Great white guys, like Usyk was there. You know what I'm saying? In cruiserweight, Morris Brightus was there. Gassiev was there. Go to light heavy, you had Grunchik, Beterbiev, and Bivol. So we ain't got no problems. Some awesome white people where they don't have to, slight a black person. Those are real good, awesome white dudes from Eastern European. Joe Smith is up there. Joe Smith has got a title, man. That's good because we got two white guys now from America finally, and it's good with Caleb Plant and Joe Smith Jr. And I'm happy, because we need a few. Because what happens is this is basically, jealousy. Envy. So, we need a couple of them so they can just not be so damn envious all the time. So, all these Negro League fighters, right? We're down to middleweight now, right? So, we had Demetrius Andrade and Jamal Charlo, his brother Jamel as well, because Jamel has 3 titles and what? He's not even on the pound for pound list. Go down to lightweight, Devin Haney. Totally Devin Haney. And then you go lower than that, you go down into bantamweight, and then you got Guillermo Rigondeaux. Now, welterweight, Terrence Crawford, right? Those are the names. Now, a couple of names about to get on the list soon. David Morrell, super middleweight. Be careful because he's too good. They're about to start blackballing him. And Shakur Stevenson at 130 pounds, right? Because people are not fighting them. And everybody that I just mentioned, people are not fighting them. And it's for years. So let's go to Demetrius Andrade, right? Because Demetrius Andrade, we know he's been trying to get Canelo in the ring forever. He's been a champion since 2013. 2013. and he still can't. And every weight that Canelo is, the 154, he was the champion. Canelo was his mandatory, didn't fight him. Right? He moved up to 160 to fight Canelo. He was in a Canelo had all 3 belts. Demetrius Andrade had the other one. They could have fought for undisputed. Canelo didn't do it. Went up there and tried to fight Kovalev instead of him. He would have got $40 million to fight Demetrius Andrade and become the first Mexican middleweight undisputed champion. Instead, he goes up to super middleweight because it's easier to do. He thinks with the people. Plus, the WBC gave him the title for 168 without him fighting Benavidez, right? So this is what he's up to. So this is Demetrius Andrade. So now Demetrius Andrade is right now is telling you he's like went to the DAZN where Canelo was signed and Gennady Golovkin is signed. DAZN, the promotion company, the new app that everybody says what they said everybody's gonna try to get. So he signed there. Now Canelo ain't fighting him ever. Canelo done told him, made it clear, if I wasn't gonna fight for $40 million for undisputed, and the media didn't say anything. Think about that. An undisputed fight, and the media did not say nothing. They let Canelo go up there and fight Kovalev. Now, Canelo wanted to get away from the DAZN because the DAZN was forcing them to fight somebody hard instead of all these easy guys. To make it just real simple, and this is all true. And so now, Gennady Golovkin ain't fought nobody since Canelo. Except Derevyanchenko, and that was too close for comfort. That's why he hasn't fought. He's going everywhere. He asked for Zemaretta. Zemaretta wasn't even his mandatory, guys. Wasn't even his mandatory. He asked them to elevate him to mandatory, so it sounds cooler, right? He don't want to fight nobody. And they all at the zone with Demetrius Andrade, won't fight him. Same weight division, everything. Now, Demetrius Andrade said he's putting more pressure, is what I'm hearing, for the zone to force him, Gennady Golovkin to fight him, because Gennady Golovkin wants to wait all the way until December to fight Murata somewhere in Japan, right? Instead of this awesome dude, Demetrius Andrade, who's been trying to fight him forever, right? So he's gonna try. He's trying to force the zone to do something about that. Now the zone has told Gennady Golovkin, man, you got to fight somebody hard. This was easy in-house fight. Think about it. We got to force Gennady Golovkin to fight him, and he won't, right? Just like Canelo, we won't, and it wouldn't be bad. But what's bad is these guys are in front of Demetrius Andrade in the pound-for-pound list. Not mine for the longest. Demetrius Andrade is a hero here. He's a hero. He's far more than boxing. This has been going on for too long. People have went through lengths to not fight Demetrius Andrade. And these are 2 of the best. Supposedly, Canelo Alvarez and Gennady Golovkin forever will not fight this guy. And so now he's trying to force him at the zone. It's not going to happen. He's trying to force him. But let's see what happens. I don't think it's going to happen. Now all of a sudden Canelo and GGG might fight for the 3rd fight. Nobody wants to see it. They try to force it down your throat and tell you, like, what has Gennady Golovkin done since fighting Canelo that makes you think he's supposed to fight Canelo again? Like, nothing. He won't fight anybody. Like, Gennady Golovkin beats the hell out of Charlo or Andrade. It's on. Canelo do the same. It's on. But they won't. And the thing is, they don't have to. Because the media is from the same place where 75,000 million people voted for Trump. So that's why this is. And I call boxing BTBG. And I mean it. And BTBG means beat the black guy. That's all boxing is. Literally. And now I can go down every weight and tell you what's been going on. This is really going on right here. Here's another thing that's new right now. Devin Haney, the WBC champion at lightweight, right? Could have had an undisputed fight with Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez won't fight him. And you know what the media does? They call Teofimo Lopez undisputed without getting the 4th title. They'll call it just, hey, you ain't got to fight Devin Haney. We'll just call you undisputed. Like we're calling Canelo Alvarez the best fighter in the world, even though we know he's not fighting these guys, right? Gennady Golovkin's the best middleweight in the last 25 years, and we know he won't fight these guys, right? That's what we're just going to do it. So that's why I'm not going to talk around it. Don't expect it. So, lightweight division, Devin Haney got the WBC title. Now, Ryan Garcia fought Luke Campbell for the interim title to be his mandatory. Ryan Garcia wins. Doesn't want to fight Devin Haney. Another mandatory that doesn't want to fight the champion, right? Like Canelo didn't want to fight Demetrius Andrade. Like Jaime Munguia right now doesn't want to fight Demetrius Andrade. They're the mandatories. I've never heard this before Canelo and Jaime Munguia and Ryan Garcia. They're all Mexican. What the hell is going on? Now, JoJo Diaz, right? Because Ryan Garcia didn't want to fight Devin Haney, and he got in depression and stuff, right? So they're gonna give him an excuse. But so what? When Ryan Garcia was supposed to fight Javi Ventura, he got depressed and got anxiety. So JoJo Diaz moved up in weight, stepped up, and beat Javier Fortuna, which is awesome, right? Now he's the mandatory for who? Devin Haney. But he was calling out Ryan Garcia, who's what the hell is that is? But he did say Devin Haney, right? Once. And then after that, no one else said nothing about Devin Haney. So I hear over Twitter they supposed to have the fight until November. It's going to happen in November between Devin Haney and Joe Diaz. Are we supposed to get happy? No. Tell you why. Because it's your mandatory. Why are we supposed to get happy? Mandatory. Go look at Dillian White over there talking smack. Or any mandatory. They're always talking smack. So what are we supposed to do? A mandatory is fighting a champion and we're supposed to get happy? Listen, the fight's supposed to be in November. Devin Haney and JoJo Diaz ain't going to happen either. Just like I was able to tell you that Tyson Fury was not going to fight Deontay Wilder. How was I able to do that? Why? Because he was not trying to not fight him and pay a whole lot of money to do so for 10 years, for 10, 11 months, right? So that's why I knew when he was told he's got to fight him, then something else is going to pop off. And I said it, an injury, something. But now we're living in a type of COVID, so you can say that in a heartbeat. Now we got all kind of discrepancies. We don't know who's got COVID and who don't. So we don't even worry about it. Bottom line is, these black champions are not getting fought. But they're nowhere to be found on the damn pound for pound list. Which means, if you're not following boxing on normal TV, you're being lied to. Right? Straight up. There's no more talking around. You're being lied to. Don't watch boxing on normal TV no more. Because their narrative is all wrong. You don't know any of these guys. How good do you know Louis the Real King Ortiz? Somebody tell you he's old and he's this, and no heavyweights have fought him. No top 15 heavyweights have fought him. Ranked under him. Right? Deontay Wilder. Didn't he have to run after Tyson Fury? Tyson Fury's a cheater and done everything wrong. He's just got an ESPY award or something for the best fighter and ain't really done nothing. But run from Deontay Wilder the whole year. And probably cheated. But even if he didn't cheat against Wilder, he cheated everywhere else. That's why we're supposed to assume when somebody's a murderer or a child molester, right, and he moves to your neighborhood, they got to tell you, right? That's what Tyson Fury got to do. When he get in the ring, it's like, okay, I've cheated with my gloves before. Check my gloves real good. I've cheated. I've doped a couple of times. Did you check me? Because I've done it before, right? Right, but we don't. So that's how that is. So Deontay Wilder, Negro League fight. Michael Hunter, he beat Povetkin. Right? Then got Dillian White, Povetkin got the fight against Dillian White. Demetrius Andrade, I just told you, Charlo, we got a belt because Canelo Alvarez mandatory, Canelo didn't want to fight him. See? And what he do? We got a franchise belt, which is the Charlo belt. And going down, Devin Haney, I told you, Guillermo Rigondeaux right now is going down. So, bottom line, Casimero is going to fight Rigondeaux, but no need to deny, ain't. He knew he ain't. You know what I mean? So whatever. Yeah, Negro League fighters. And those are heroes. Just like Demetrius Andrade. They're heroes. Those are the best boxers. Because they're being avoided like they are the best boxers. And then when you go look at them to find out why, then you be like, damn, he is good. Like Terrence Crawford. Yeah, Pacquiao's fighting Spence. But he ain't fighting Crawford. He wanted $40 million to fight Crawford. Everybody was saying he's going to get knocked out by Crawford. And for the last 6 years, Freddie Roach, his trainer, said we don't want him. Bob Arum said he's going to get hurt. I've documented that here. You can go right in the internet and just look Terrence Crawford versus Pacquiao, and you'll start seeing how everybody's worried about his well-being when he fights little old skinny Terrence Crawford. Right? Negro League fighter. If anybody is good at animation or something, draw up them Negro League fighters somewhere and send them to me. We up out of here, y'all. Doma Sports Talk, worldwide. And we up out of here.